I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey everyone! Welcome back to the Good Trouble After Show. We're talking season 2, episode 16, Fragility, and we have a full panel after like so many episodes, guys. I cannot even. I'm your host, Chae Jones, and I've been rocking it with you since season 1. But to my left, I have the king of freeform. He loves it. He's a buff. Mr. Bryant Santos.
Yes, I'm also giving you that LGBTQIA perspective.
Yeah. And it's amazing. And to his left, I have to make sure I understand where our left is, Lauren Hubbard. She brings you the queen of news and gossip.
What's up, guys? Stay tuned. We have some good news coming up.
And a Foster's OG fan.
Yes.
I have Miss Janice Nyam.
Hi, everyone. I love the Fosters, and I'm such a huge fan of this whole franchise, and I don't think it's easy to, replicate such a good show, but this show definitely is almost better than the Fosters. Dare I say it?
Yeah.
Okay. And not only do we have a full panel, guys, we have a very special guest. You know him as Isaac from Good Trouble. Sarunas J. Jackson. Please tell me I say it right.
Yeah, you said it right. Good job.
I'm winning names. Like, you guys have no idea how hard that is to respect. How are you feeling?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm very good. I'm glad to be here. It's fun, to talk about stuff you're a part of. So, because sometimes, your friends don't really care. So,
I wish you could get better friends.
Yes.
Right? There's only so many of them that actually even watch TV. So,
oh wow.
Okay.
But it could be kind of nice. Sometimes you have a separation, and then like my daddy watch everything I do. So if I want to talk about something, I'm sure he'll call me and talk about it. So yeah,
It's good to have that balance.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're going to get into this episode because a lot happened. And we're going to start with the, what did you call it? The
Love Square
that we're in. I like to call it the quadruple thing that will
It's
die.
like 5 people at this point.
Okay. Actually, I don't know why I thought about it, but I had to think. So we have Evan and Mariana. They are doing a photo shoot for the Act-ivisim app. And it's awesome. Obviously, a woman in tech getting the credit she deserves for her app. Because it's an opportunity, like Raj said, that is very rare. It needs to be shown because it rarely happens. The opportunity doesn't always present itself.
Absolutely.
But obviously there is tension between Evan and Mariana and Raj.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going through his head sometimes. I really don't. And then he gets a text from Isabella, and we don't know what he's talking about obviously at first. Because they like to tease us and make us
they start at the end and then make us work back.
They anticipate us. Like that's what it is. Like you just want to make my mind explode with my assumptions of what's gonna happen.
But it does keep you hooked, though, don't you think?
It really does.
Yeah. I definitely wanted to know what was gonna happen. So she was like, "Are we a thing?" And I was like, "You better not be."
Right? I'm like, ma'am, that's not a. This is your new roommates, by the way. Your new roommate's boyfriend.
Whom she didn't even do a background check for. Like, we don't know who this girl is. She could be anyone, literally.
She literally just got on the lease, like last week, just on the lease. Like we're
gonna make this permanent now. Okay, so, and we don't know what the thing is, quote unquote, but we're gonna figure it out obviously as the episode goes on, and we find out that he becomes a wood elf, entertainer, magician for Kid's birthday party, and it was very cute. It was a very nice scene, and I will say this for that scene with Isabella, I actually liked her in that moment. She looked gorgeous, and I actually felt like, okay, this is a person I can actually like.
Yeah, I felt like it was all a ploy to get Raj to see her in all her glory. She tried it with yoga. She's trying it with him being a wood. What the hell is a wood elf? Have you guys ever heard about that? I think she made that up.
Well, if you're a fairy, I believe there could be wood elves or different forms of elves in the hierarchy.
Yes.
My imagination goes out in that realm.
Shadowhunters vibes. Freeform buff right here.
Oh my God. That's funny.
And because they do have fairies, and that's the whole big part of Shadowhunters, so it makes sense. It's a whole situation in the book series, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about Good Trouble, and seeing the magic act, him being, I think, more comfortable in who Raj is. I think that was the happiest or passion I've actually seen him that when they didn't involve Mariana or sex.
Sure.
That's true.
Interesting
perspective. Right or wrong, please tell me if you think if you disagree or not with that.
I agree. He was definitely in his element. He was feeling the vibes, working with the little kids. But it still rubbed me the wrong way. Like, why are you trying to tell him to leave work early, number one?
Yes.
You know, don't take money out of my man's pocket. Then, like, you need to sneak away. Are you kidding me? Like, how about, hey, girl, can your man come do a magic trick with me? No. So, she's cute and all, but I don't like her.
I love her. She's cute and all.
Yeah. She is.
Alex video chats him in his glory. In my mind, I'm sorry,
That was
sir.
hilarious.
Why did you not take off the wig? That's all you had to do. I don't think anybody cared about the
I
shirt.
don't think it was glued on.
Like, you could civil shit. Hi, yeah, my privacy project. There's just things you could have did. And then he got knocked out with the.
Oh my, that was
I know,
hilarious.
yeah. I'm
I
sure it was not a
dying.
lace front, so he could have literally just popped it off. So.
Oh my God.
But then the ears would still stick out though, like.
I guess. I don't know. It was a weird situation.
That whole hair was just a weird situation. But obviously, Evan was interested in the app despite what he was dressed as. So, I mean, that looks good for the blue team in that sense. For Alex to get what he wants, basically, which is more like for him to get the same resources as Mariana apparently is getting from Evan.
Yes.
And he, as a white male in a tech world, feels like he is being. What's the
Prejudiced
prejudiced or discriminated against,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, sir, you're a white male.
He thinks reverse racism.
What?
He said it was
Yeah.
reverse discrimination.
Yeah.
Reverse discrimination. Those are words. Where I'm just like, I want you to actually give me a definition of what you believe reverse discrimination is, and then I'll give you the actual correct discrimination, what it means. Sorry.
I felt like it had
everything
nothing to do with race and more to do with gender and
It's
Evan liking Mariana. I just think he went about it the wrong way. He came about it like, oh, you and my boss like actually have feelings for each other and he's giving you special treatment. Like I would definitely side with him, but the way he's coming about it from like a racial perspective kind of gives me the thought that he might be racist. I mean, he has shown some racist tendencies.
it's not racial. I think so much is more gender bias in his. I think what he wrote in the manifesto was something he believes. Women don't deserve to be paid as equal as a man. Plain, blank, and simple.
Alex's character?
Alex's
Is what you're
character.
talking about?
Yeah.
He's definitely racist.
Yes.
His jokes that he had very insensitive jokes that he thought
especially towards Raj.
Especially towards
like
Raj.
earlier in the series in the show, period. But yeah, he was somebody who, and that actor is a very good actor because did I meet him before one of the table reads? No, I had seen him before I actually met him. And I just remember like when my initial, I was like, oh, this is how like fans get caught up in things. Because I was like when I saw him, I was like, I didn't like him at first, but he's actually a really good guy.
Justin's awesome.
Yeah.
Justin, he's really nice.
He is. Justin's really good dude.
Let's separate character from person real quick.
Right.
We'll continue.
Yeah, but he is a character that as soon as I saw his character, I was like, oh, I can't wait to see his arc because I already know he's gonna hit hard because he's on his high horse and stuff like that. And that honestly, that's one of my favorite things to hear is when white men feel like they're being like
Discriminated against.
that Bill O'Reilly type of like, you know, the straight white man's under attack, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's my favorite thing to hear. So, yeah, I mean, with him, I just think that's just. They're always, someone like that always wants an excuse to feel like they're being, like the reason why they're not ahead
Entitled.
is it has to, because of entitlement, it blinds them so much. There has to be a reason why I'm not ahead of you. You can't be better than me.
Yes.
That's not a thing. So I always like to hear those, and then they come up with ridiculous excuses like reverse discrimination. So. Yeah.
Now that you mentioned that the character who plays Alex is not, you know, an evil person in real life.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else on the cast that is completely opposite from their character on the show? I'm just curious.
Who would be? Emma is not as clueless as Davia.
Oh yeah, she is.
Oh, no,
She's clueless.
Yeah.
Oh, he means like Emma the
Yeah.
person, but
No, yeah. I'm saying Davia is clueless. Yeah.
Davia is clueless, even though she has a good heart. You know what I mean? She is clueless. That ignorance, you know, not. You know, it's just a lack of access, you know, whoever she was around growing up, that character. The table reads are so funny when there's certain lines. Like there's a line where she says, you guys remember when she was like, I don't see color or something like that. When she read that, she was like, I'm colorblind. Oh my God. Like, she like crumbled in her chair. Because she was like, and then like, even when she had to do the little stupid ass dance and shit, she was like at the table read kind of like, she looked straight at Bradley and Peter, like for real. Like, but yeah, she's definitely not as clueless as that. Josh is definitely not as I don't want to see broken or depressed, like, as tenants, but he's not. You definitely don't get,
the vibe.
He's a pretty cheerful guy.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a pretty cheerful guy. Everybody else is kind of like, Maya. Jesus. Maya is one of the funniest people on that whole set. She is so funny. And it's one of those things, like, she's the type of person everybody was like, I did not know you're this funny every time they meet her or talk to her or something like that. She has great timing. Like, she's made me laugh very hard, probably the most on that set.
Oh, wow.
Besides Sherry Cola, like, them two are probably neck and neck, though. Like, that's how funny Maya is. She's so witty and smart.
Yep.
And so she's not as, like Callie's more buttoned up and poised and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maya's not. Maya's not that.
Oh, wow.
But she's a great actress. Obviously, she's gonna pull that off.
Yeah.
And she's Australian, in case anybody did not know that.
Yeah. So, but she's probably one of the most hilarious people on that set I've ever met. And but one of the favorite things to see though is how similar Sierra and Mariana is though. They're pretty similar. Like in a sense of like
she's gonna come
they're
from
both so girly girl. Like she's so girly girl. It's like she's so adorable and cute. Everybody thinks she's the cutest thing, and I think the same thing about Mariana. I mean, she's not like as Mariana does like dumb shit sometimes. It's just like, come on, like. So obviously, but like they're pretty similar as far as like the essence and energy. Like when I saw, I was like, oh, okay, like I could see why she's so good at playing that role. But yeah.
I mean, speaking of energy, like Mariana and Evan admitted feelings for each other. And I mean,
yeah.
But I love the fact that she said, I do feel something for you, but I do love my man. I love my boyfriend. I love the relationship that I'm in, and whatever we have, it can't be. Also, on top of that, if I did get with you, everything I worked here for would be stupid. Like, it would just go up in flames because now that's the only reason I can only get my app to be a certain way is if I'm sleeping with the boss.
Exactly.
Which is a fair point.
Yeah, I think that quite a few women face that challenge in the workplace. Like, even if it's not, a boss, it could be an employee. You don't want all of your work to lose credit because, you're sleeping with someone else in the workplace. I thought that was very mature of her. I think you used that word a few times for her to say, yeah, I have feelings, but I'm putting them aside because 1, I'm in a relationship. 2, you're my boss. But the way Evan walked out, it was like he was pissed. Yeah. He was like,
I also felt like it was the way he was like trying to go like back into his shell of not noticing the things around him anymore. Again, in a sense, like how we first met Evan, he was so very like distant, like not aware of everybody else. So I think he kind of just like, okay, so if I can't have feelings, I can't share my feelings. I have to revert back to what I'm used to, what I know.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
It's not so simple. Like, so.
He's like, sorry. I'm just like,
so it was like, is it a mature thing that she said that? Yes. Like, can people actually be mad that Evan was mad and walked away? I don't think so. And the reason why I say that is all the breadcrumbs, just watch every episode, every interaction to her and how it builds and how her body starts responding to him. So this is just science, just how human beings and species work with each other. So the way she starts reacting to him and the eye contact she makes with him and how she starts looking at him and she's feeling a certain way. So he's not tripping.
She can't control how she's feeling though.
Huh?
She can't control how she's feeling.
But she can control her actions.
But she can't control her actions. Exactly.
She does control him. She does kind of like,
it helps him out. I agree. Like she made him feel so comfortable. Who was a person who's on the spectrum. You know how hard it is to make someone on the spectrum.
You make a good point.
Socially, and she did that, and she's gorgeous. No, what you expect her to do? Of course I'm mad now because I thought that the reason why he's comfortable enough to even say anything is because he thought he was going to get that back, probably, right? Whatever, if he obviously knows about her situation, stuff like that, but he's just going off what she's giving him in that energy between them two. So I do think she was irresponsible leading up to that with how her interactions were with him. And that was my problem with her, especially with him, someone who gets social anxiety and stuff like that. Like I get you trying to make him comfortable, but at the same time you're setting him up for failure and who knows what that could do to him. And I was getting really mad every time I would see how she was acting towards him. Like that frustrated me. So she's wrong.
I agree. I think me and Chae actually mentioned that a few times, how she's leading him on and what's going to happen because, he does have different social norms than everyone else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree 100% too. Like, if she wasn't even giving him any inkling and he tried to act on it, then that would be a completely different story.
Right.
But of course, like you said, she's touching him and she's giving him the bedroom eyes that she should be giving to her real man. But
I mean, her man's giving some eyes to somebody else, so they got
Exactly.
all
But
bigger
why
issues.
is he doing that? Because he's
They got
clocked
bigger
this, though.
issues.
He's clocked her and Evan, so now he's getting attention from somebody else. He's like, fuck it. She accepts it from somebody else. What do you want Raj to do at this point? I'm
Break
not
up.
saying two wrongs make a right, but in mind, two negatives equal to positive in some people's mind. So I'm just, you know what I'm saying? You know how
can't.
people react. So
God.
again, I still think at the root of it, whether it's dealing with Raj or Evan, I think Mariana, she is the common denominator in that to me. I just think she just, and it's not even in a way where I think she's just consciously doing this. She's such a sweet, good-hearted
it's a
person.
very
Exactly.
subconscious thing.
Yeah,
yes.
it's not. It's a very innocent thing. It's just mistakes she's making that she would have to learn. It's just all about maturing, and she hasn't really experienced this type of situation. Especially look, if you follow the Fosters and stuff, like her, being a child there, and then she's like a young adult here into the workspace stuff. Like all this stuff is new to her, so I understand the mistakes, but at the same time, you got to hold people accountable for what they do and their actions.
I mean, she even almost came clean to Raj. It was gonna be a come clean until the manifesto, and
yeah.
that manifesto
Oh,
messed up
yeah.
everything. So now you're accountable for Alex's actions, in that sense that she basically made like. You can make it right, but I don't know if that's gonna make it right between me and you. I don't care how drunk you were. That was an excuse. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, Raj was so wrong. I mean, he got his buddy back. He was happy. He was drinking. Unfortunately, something slipped out, which I'm sure everyone has let something slip at one point. But he should have stopped. Like he kind of caught himself. And then Alex was like, "He did what?" That's when you're like, "Oh wait, what did I just say?"
Yeah, that's when I would have kept it to myself.
That's
Like,
what
that's a sober moment, okay? That's
I
a
felt
sober
like
moment.
Alex was actually trying to get that information out of Raj.
Yeah.
Like the way he was looking down at him, like I think he tried to like get him drunk so he could spill the tea on Mariana.
Like so at least have some leverage, definitely to
Yeah,
use at a
exactly.
later date, which he use a trump card for that.
We think.
We'll find out.
Yes, exactly.
Find out.
Also pulling trump cards around here is Jamie, apparently, because he was brought in as a lawyer for the CC Hastings that Callie took herself out of for her relationship. And when she finds out, she's pissed. Granted, they did offer more money, but now she's pissed. I'd be pissed too. You did lie. Like, I'm sorry, you lied.
I disagree with you.
I know you guys don't. I don't care. You lied. She agrees with me, but everyone don't agree with me.
No,
but
we
me.
all disagree with
I-
you.
I'm in the
lied.
middle. I'm in the
You're in the
middle.
middle?
I'm in the
Catch
middle.
me-
I
catch
can
me
see
up.
both sides.
I read all the scripts. I
Yeah.
said what's going on. So, who are you talking about lied?
Callie's
Jamie
lied
lied
to
to
Callie
Oh,
about
the client? His
about
client?
the client, yeah.
Oh, about who he's representing?
I think he just omitted something.
No. Okay, so when does omission not become a lie no more? So now we're saying all omission
because
is
he
not
told
lies.
her, was that the end of the car scene? Or no,
No,
we're talking
we're
about this
past-
episode.
yeah.
I'm
So
sorry.
that he
I'm
went to a
back.
meeting at her office.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm caught up now.
Yeah.
Yep, here we go. There we
Okay,
go.
no, this is why I say it wasn't a lie, because initially when they had this discussion and Callie decided to remove herself, he was not working this case.
Yes.
His firm just represented the company. He says that today they put me in. He called her. They even said, your phone's blowing up. Call Jamie back. Call Jamie back. So he tried to warn her. She can't get mad at him for doing his job.
Oh, but I can't get mad at you for saying technically it's not a conflict of interest because technically there is none now that you're not working the case no more. That's the issue.
Yeah.
No,
But you think
it's
it's
No.
not- it's not
I
one.
agree with you. I
They
agree
work
with
on
you. I agree with you on that
technicalities.
because that was the exact place where they were in the beginning. Like he wasn't really on the account, and she was, and so
Right.
that was a conflict of interest. Now he is, and she isn't. So it's still the same thing. So I think that's just like a cheap,
That's what
That's
that's
what
way out.
lawyers
excuse.
is.
I don't think it's a conflict of interest. She decided to remove herself for their relationship, so she should not be involved with that case anymore. And even her manager said that. Like, look, you removed yourself.
He's
this is none of
also
your
Marcus
business.
is stupid as hell. So look,
Hey, no
Retweet.
bashing black lawyers.
I say he's stupid as hell because this is the reason why for a couple of reasons. One, because even though I'm not on the case no more, you also made it seem like if I would have took myself off the case, that was expecting me because I'm a woman.
Yeah. At the end of
that's-
the conversation, I felt that.
That's what my issue a little bit with Marcus is. Because I'm a woman, it's expected of me to step aside from a case for my man, for my relationship.
Yes, and that's what Callie's boss
Was
mentioned.
telling-
Yeah, she
mentioned to her
said
as
that
well.
don't let anybody.
Don't.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to bash black lawyers. I'm bashing your values or your views on the situation.
Right. Yeah.
And let's talk about values apparently because you know there was a discussion about ex Heather and you know why they broke up and you know the same values because Jamie doesn't want to be like his parents, but you know Callie wants the same strong relationship her parents have. You know, Lena and Steph. But that means that this begs the question: are we on? Do they have the same values? Because I personally don't think they do.
They don't. No.
I don't think they do.
He's a registered Republican.
Thank you. I'm not over
Okay,
this.
I think when it comes to like basic morals, they do have the same values.
Yeah.
Like
Like
in
what?
how they would raise their kids, I think they would. Like Jamie, I think is a feminist. Like the way he supports her. I don't know. Do you guys disagree with
I
that?
kind of agree with
I can
that.
see that.
Okay.
I
I
can
haven't
see
seen
it,
him
Because I
But
haven't seen any
But I
any
feel like he
like
picks and
toxic.
chooses though.
Yeah, he
That's my
does.
issue with James Snum. You pick and choose a situation that works best for you. You can't always do that.
Sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I think
guess,
that
yeah,
was
you can't
the-
argue that. I guess he has done that. But I mean, my thing with Jamie, I think is when it comes to them, obviously they connect very strongly. He's been a very good man. I mean, what was it that he burned up at the end of the last season?
Oh, he burned up his Republican card.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dog,
true.
you
I
know
completely
how-
forgot about that.
I almost forgot about that. I
Do
forgot
you know
about that.
how
Yeah.
prideful that is to
Honestly.
people who are about like their political party and stuff like that? They get so riled up about it, and he did that, and like, not like yes for her, but also himself. I feel like, but he did it for her. So I think this is a man who is willing to compromise a lot. Even like I loved how they handled their. That's one of my
That,
favorites.
me too. That was like wow.
That was.
I'm ready.
I mean, they're both
that was
lawyers, so they,
good.
the
That
negotiation
was
had
great.
to happen.
Yeah.
I loved it.
That was
That
a
was
great
hilarious.
scene. The Love and Basketball version in Lawyer World, like love and law, you know what I'm saying? Like that was really dope to me. But even in that, how they made it fun and stuff. But he was, you know, they're doing encounters. This is a couple willing, because I think even what they do, who they are, willing to compromise. And I think because every time you're willing to compromise and you guys both have good basic morals, you could go a long way with that. Especially when you're willing to compromise. He hasn't shown that he's hard-headed.
Exactly.
I think honestly, when you said he was feminist, I was like, oh wow, because I've never really seen him that give any misogynistic energy. So I would be able to agree with that. Yeah, but yeah, I
But
think that
one thing he
well.
said at the end of the episode, he was like, Callie, you're gonna lose either way, so just like back out. That kind of like rubbed me the wrong way. Did you guys get that or
A
catch
little,
that?
it really did because you
It was
basically said I was
bullshit.
on a losing case. Like
Yeah.
you basically said that what I put so much time and effort into it didn't matter.
Exactly.
Basically,
That was like a slap in the face.
Isn't that
I
to help her out
mean-
in a sense?
I feel like
I think that's also.
he
Not
was saying the
necessarily.
truth. Like at the end of the day, he was just saying the truth.
Right.
He got them more money. He fought for them. He did what he could do. So take your money. And I'm
the
sorry.
money.
Like
Yes.
If he-
even
yeah.
Marcus said, look, no one else is gonna pay these people this money, Callie. Like it is what it is.
Like, see, and you gotta think in that world, like sometimes she's dealing with her emotions and stuff, and Jamie's straight up just like,
Facts.
yeah, emotions to the side, yo. And in his mind, not to say that he wouldn't be wrong. You never know. There's no absolute anything. Nothing's impossible. But in his mind, he's like, I highly doubt. And when I highly doubt at this stage in my career, and it's got me this far, I'm usually right that you're gonna get anything better than this. So it's kind of like, and maybe the way he might have said it kind of would have come off the wrong way. And
I
I'm sure
totally
he
agree,
didn't mean it in
yeah.
a disrespectful way, coming from Jamie speaking to Callie, because I think he adores her. You know, but with her, we're in Callie's vehicle, so we're gonna experience her emotion, and she's not happy about that. So naturally, a lot of times we're not gonna be happy. Callie not happy, I'm not happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just does it. But I genuinely thinking like what you said. I think he was just saying like, yo, like this is just what it is. It just so happens that they're in love. You can't think about none of that when it comes to this world.
Yeah, it's
though.
his job.
It's
Like,
just
that's what he's paid to do.
Yeah, it's a cutthroat world. You know?
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that too. And I think that was like one of Callie's like I guess conflicts was like she really is working so hard for her career, but she still wants this great relationship that she already knows she has. And that's why I kind of commended her when she did what she did and stepped down because
I was so surprised that she
Mariana
did
provided
that.
such an interesting perspective of of it doesn't always have to be a fight. Like you
Right.
can step away and not battle when you
Right.
think it's not worth it. So
Right.
I think that she's going through that conflict, and I think that's kind of coming to a head. But
And
yeah.
we never seen that from her to back down. From
Yes,
a fight.
she is very, she's so feisty.
Fight,
Yeah.
Which is why we love her ever since the Fosters till now. Which is why you love her. She's willing to fight for what she believes in and loves, and she just. At this point, she was like, for the first time, maybe she was just going to put her relationship first.
Yes.
Which usually she would have put her feelings and emotions first.
But
Yes.
you guys get the sense that she might go back on the whole contract they signed about her.
Oh, she definitely
not-
no, she definitely went back because even though she stepped down, I don't think it meant that her stepping down didn't mean she was any less passionate about fighting
Right,
it
right,
at all.
of
Like
course.
I just stepped down to save what we have. Now seems like the game is changing, and if that's the case,
But see, I disagree because, like you said, I feel like Jamie's always the one compromising. Like, if you think about it, he's always the one
He
there.
has
Just kind
the
of like you're
entire
always the one there for
relationship.
Malika. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes the
Yeah.
ladies kind of have to put their pride aside.
Yes.
And I'm so glad she showed up for you for your, dad's birthday.
That was,
But
when I
you
read
know-
that, I was like, that
can
was
take a
so
break.
sweet.
I also love last week's episode about your character dealing with anxiety because that's something we
Yeah.
don't see a lot often, especially often on TV as a black man.
Absolutely.
Well,
And that was
let's
very
not
amazing.
completely discredit Sterling K. Brown. And this
Okay,
is
Absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely. There's not many
Yeah.
of us is what we should say. It's not
And
many.
also
It's not many.
Chidi from The
It's
Good
not
Place.
many.
It's
Oh,
really
Chidi
good.
too. Oh, he
From-
on another
from
level.
what
Chidi
show?
has issues.
The good,
okay?
the good place.
Oh, The Good Place. That's a
Yeah.
good
He's
show.
on, like,
Not
level-
far, though.
Chidi got issues. He's on Infinity. So
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
He
he's-
is.
it's a whole
But
nother
because
realm.
it is rare in the
But,
fact that I
yeah.
love the fact that Malika was there for you and saying, talk to somebody. Like
Right.
apparently you've been dealing with it since you were a kid.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't think you said a word to anybody about it.
Yeah, it's not something that Isaac has definitely he's definitely hasn't talked to many people about it. He might have likely said it to siblings or something like that. The family maybe. But we all know as minorities in this room, in the minority community, a lot of times, especially with growing up, if you growing up in the 90s, 80s, anything before that, like in the 90s and before, a lot of times, someone be acting up. Like, I could think back, I'm like, oh, they definitely had, some things going on. But it was, they just in one of their moods, and then you just hear them in the fucking room just going nuts and stuff. And I'd be like, dang, yo. And then even when I was feeling certain ways, or because I'm someone who has dealt with anxiety in my life. So I didn't understand what that was when I was younger. I didn't know. I just thought, honestly, I thought I was tripping. That's what you use.
Yeah,
I'm
especially in the
tripping.
90s.
Yeah,
you're just tripping.
You're
Like,
tripping. That's what it
But
is.
it's normal
Like,
though.
well, I'm tripping
It's
right now.
it's normal to trip for a second.
It is. Like, you had that, but that was very special for me because this is the first time in my career I was able to do more than just kind of a lot of characters I've played have kind of just been kind of leveled, and you don't go too far off base with your emotion or anything that I haven't explored much. Definitely involved in interesting things, but this was the first time I was able to dive into something, and it was something that was special to me just because that's something I could pull from my life. Our anxiety is a little bit different, but which I thought was also important to have specific conversations, and especially to have this supportive, loving black couple on the screen talking about this. I thought, and the messages I was getting were so I was like, wow,
It was amazing to watch.
yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot to do that day, and then that scene on a rooftop afterwards, just all that. That's been some of my favorite work to do, and I was thanking the writers so much. I was like, thank you.
It was so funny, watching that scene, you would not know that they were shooting on a set.
Right.
That balcony is
It's
legit
so
is a set,
real,
okay?
yeah.
No, that's
Really?
not
sorry.
cement. It's just hollow.
No, even the background, I was just like, I'm
Yeah.
actually I was trying to pinpoint maybe
yeah, like a wrinkle.
something. I was just like, but dang, it looks so good.
It looks so good. It looked like there's
Magic
no
of
breeze
TV.
and stuff. The sun's out. Nope, that was
Nope,
in
that's
the
just-
evening.
And then we have to get into Davia because
Oh, man.
her character. This is a big thing for her character,
colorful
especially
character.
because we're given also things that she was reading from the book White Fragility,
Uh-huh.
and some things I just love. She said it was just as a white person, are there racial dynamics that I can't see? Aiming to be colorblind denies the reality of racism. White tears is how our fragility presents itself as we cry about how hard racism is for us.
Yeah.
First of all, if that did not strike a chord in
Man.
nobody else,
Man.
let me tell you real quick how it struck a chord. Because, and also how she said about how white people, if we call them on prejudice or racism. They think that we're attacking their character or their person. We're not. We're really not. We just want you to try to broaden your mind of what is actually happening in the world, because you're not seeing it. Yeah. So I feel like if I'm not saying anything, then you're just continue not to see it.
That like pro-black, pro-Latino, pro-Asian, whatever, pro-anything is not anti-white.
It is not anti-anything, just like Black Lives Matter isn't anti-anything.
It's not anti-anything. Whatever you are. It's like transgender, whatever it is. It's not anti-anything, and that's when I always like that's like the brightest flashlight when I see it is how mad, like when I've seen people get over certain things, and I'm like, no one was coming at you. Yeah. You're speaking like this because one of your ignorance mainly. Let's just talk about just ignorant. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so and I love that they use Davia as a vehicle to explain these things, because if it's Malika, some people gonna be, oh God, they're beating us over the head and rolling their eyes. Yeah. They're preaching. So when you use it, which is sad, you know. Sure. But she has mentioned it before, right? So you have her mention it, and then you have Davia's character actually do the work. And even why it's more important than her, like why I think is even more special is Davia instead of like Judge Wilson. You right? Because that was someone who's a conservative judge who's convicted of many black bodies and stuff like that. Yeah. That would be this thing like, oh, Judge Wilson, right? But the reason why it's even to me is more powerful is Davia, because this is someone who has seemed an ally or tolerant her whole life, right? Probably has friends of all shades and colors, and you would never see no harm done towards her black friends or any minority, whatever it is. Like, she's accepting of everyone. That's how she feels, and she is, right? In her heart, she is. Yeah, she doesn't see the microisms of things, you know, obviously, because she's not fully taught because of her. You say whiteness as if it's like a disease or something. But when you're white, though, it's just a statement. Yeah, when you're white, though, you are shielded against a lot of things that we would see, right? You know, little things, right? So to come from that character, I think it's even more important, because it's really tough for those type of people who are good people and are allies, and they feel, but there's still things that they could be educated on. That's when it's tough for them, because they're like, I've been there for this. I've always supported this. Like, that's always our argument, right? Yeah. And so when it is someone like that, then you could really sit with that and be like, to me, that just comes across more powerful and clear to me.
Especially because she is also a teacher in a public education system.
Yes. Absolutely.
Where,
even though I hated that,
like, it's so underfunded. Like, our public school system.
I hated him.
He was annoying at first.
Oh, you're Andre?
Yeah, I fuck him. But I don't like it. We be at the movies, and if a group of teenagers come in, I'm like, I'm getting old, Joe. I'm that person now. But if it's a group of teenage boys, I'll be like, they're these, like, little rascals and stuff. Like,
wow, you really are getting over that.
Maybe you see a little bit of yourself in
them. You're not even 30 yet. So
for sure. I'm not even 30 yet, but I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting old. But but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Yeah. But the public school system is very underfunded as it is, and then it also shows, like, when they're saying that when you treat people like criminals, they're bound to act like criminals, because that's the only thing that you're showing them they are good for. Yeah. Like, you're not giving them a chance to actually develop and actually find their potential, because you've already decided what their potential was before they even got walked in the room.
Yeah. This, like, the whole thing really, like, hit home with me. Because I'm 1,000% a minority. But back on Guam, where I'm originally from, I'm technically the majority. I am the local person there, and I am basically the majority. So I never had to check my privilege that I didn't even know I had until moving here. So it was such something that I saw portrayed, like, for myself, which was really, really interesting. So I really appreciated that, how they did it, and, you know, so now I feel like I'm definitely checking my privilege. And but yeah.
Wow.
We're gonna get into a quick "Have you been good or trouble?" real quick before we go, guys.
Yes.
So today's question is: Davia deciding to take a soft support in her helping her students to save her job will be good or trouble when it comes to her kids?
When she has kids of her own?
No, the kids that she's teaching. She's a teacher. The kids that she's teaching.
So rephrase the question again?
So Davia deciding to take the soft support in helping her students
Yeah.
to save her job in the long run, is that going to be good or trouble when it actually comes to what she wants to do for her
When
kids?
she says soft support, I
Yeah.
think she means like
Yeah.
allying with the principal, right?
Yeah, aligning with the
not
principal and not going to
Right.
the
the committee
committee.
meeting.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah.
So 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we're all trouble all
Trouble.
around, guys.
Yeah.
Don't forget you can win this if you leave us a comment on iTunes, say 5 stars. Also leave your Instagram, your Twitter. You can catch this amazing gentleman to my right on Good Trouble.
thank
Also, he's going to be coming back in Games People Play.
Oh yeah. We got
Yes.
season 2 coming.
Wait,
Opposite
really
Lauren
quick.
London. Real quick.
Yes, we
Oh,
also
yeah, boy.
have him, J. Mallory McCree, and Denham Richards, and the upcoming Zoo film.
Yes.
We're almost done, but do you just want to talk about it really quick because this is like a great project?
Yeah. So this is basically talking about the Black experience during the Holocaust and what their orders were from Hitler, which is to experiment on Black bodies because they wanted to overtake or go to Africa and overtake over there, and what they deemed as unlivable conditions because of their white skin. Obviously, they can't handle the heat, such as Black people. That was their reason to be like, well, we got to experiment. Why are they able to take it and we don't? Because, they feel like they're superior and we're not.
Yeah.
But so it's there's a lot of crazy stories that came from that time. So Jay Mallory, who plays Zuri's brother on the show, Dom. Yeah,
Yes.
Denham, who played, what's Denham's character name? He was with
He
Gaia.
was
Gael's
Gael,
boyfriend. I forgot.
Eli.
Elijah.
I was like, something is close.
So yeah, we're they put this together, and I read it and I was like, look, I'll be part of it if you guys want. I'll help out for sure. And
It's
so
all
I'm
minority
excited.
cast, right?
All minority cast, obviously besides the Germans. But yeah, and then me and Jay Mallory will be doing a film together. Which is one I'm going to New York. He'll be in that as well.
Oh, nice.
So,
That's
Is this the Martin
awesome.
Luther King
Exciting.
one? Or is it
something
a
different.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, later. Talk about that one.
So, Sharonis, you want to tell people where they can find you on all social media platforms?
Oh yeah. So just Instagram, Twitter. It's Ron J, RONEJAE.
And Miss Janice, you want to tell people where they can
And
find
you
you?
can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Nyam Janice, NYAMJANICE.
And you can find me at Lauren the Truth.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube at the Bryant Santos.
And you guys can find me at Real Shay Jones on Twitter and Instagram, and Disney News Weekly on Popcorn Talk. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.